To be very honest, I was born as a Hindu. I'm stuck with it. Very honest answer. You see, but the thing is, the broad vision of spirituality that comes out in Hinduism allows me to continue to adhere to this religion. It looks at a variety of different ways for making spiritual progress. It recognizes atheistic modes. Say, if it suits your temperament, good for you, go for your God. It also recognizes a non-theistic mode, say the Buddhist tradition, just addressing the human condition. It also recognizes spiritual development or unfolding in a non-religious guise. If through music or art or dance or drama or poetry or literature or science itself you become one-pointed and get a deeper glimpse into the nature of reality, so be it. This is the breadth of vision of this religion. That's why I continue to adhere to it and continue to promote the broader vision.
I think I made it clear before that, this question is directed at Theist, right? I think I made it clear before that I didn't choose to be an atheist. You know, so I suspect it's part of my makeup, it's part of my capacity, it may be imaginative capacity or rational or intellectual capacity as a human being, that I see no sense in the idea of God. I find it pretty much unintelligible.
I think similar to what Jay over here said, once you're born Jewish, then you are stuck with it. You are always Jewish. I think though we have to consider that everyone is on their own personal spiritual journey. I mean, I'm on mine. I don't know what will happen in 10 years' time. But I think Judaism really embraces this idea that you're continually challenging your beliefs and trying to work out how your beliefs fit into the world at large. And I think as long as you're challenging that and continuing on the journey, then that's something to be admired. So I was born Jewish, but I'm happy to be continuing down the path of Judaism and learning about it further.
Thanks for the question. Obviously, I guess it was a personal question, yes? Not on behalf of answer.
Just if I was a black sheep and I came to you and said, which religion should I follow?
All right. Answer in two ways. One is that I think that there's a lot of labels. So I think that when you say you're a Muslim, Christian or Jew, even as the speakers have identified, they position themselves in a particular way, accepting or rejecting certain beliefs. So already that nullifies labels. So I don't know whether you can say, if anybody is, I don't know what you want to say, Muslim, Christian, it's in according to our perception. So I think that one is, do labels, or do these things actually exist? One. So that's the first thing I would say. Two is, I would agree with this notion of spiritual journeying, and that is very much related to your environment and your culture, and what you identify. There are things which I reject, and I've alluded at the fellow brother here that asked a question that, you know, about converting religion and all that sort of thing. I don't accept those kind of things. That just if you're going to convert into another religion, suddenly you should be killed. Now, does that mean I'm now not a Muslim? So I think that here, it's all about spiritual journeying and finding what is the right balance for your soul. And as to me personally, I mean, yes, obviously I was born in a Muslim, but I grew up in 2 Catholic schools, predominantly non-Muslim neighborhood. So I've had, and my background is sort of East African, Indian, Shia Muslim, British, blah, blah, blah. So I have all these influences in me, and the reason why I'm Muslim is because I would like to emulate the great saint of Muhammad. I think there's a lot I can learn from him. There's a lot I can learn from the Quran. But then I also do read the Bible and the Torah and other scriptures, and I find that the golden rule, other things are valuable there as well. But fundamentally, I would like to be inspired by a great saint, and I think Muhammad and some of his close aides are wonderful to me. So that's a very personally inspiring thing for me. Yes.
I was brought up in a Christian home. My father was a Salvationist, my mother was a Methodist. And thankfully, because my father decided to join the Methodist Church, I didn't grow up having to learn how to play a tambourine, because I think I'd be terribly bad at it. But when I was a teenager, I was given the choice to choose for myself. Maybe I chose Methodism because I was familiar with it. I like the concepts of prevenient grace, which is a Methodist concept, which means, you know, you can find your way to God by grace alone. I like the idea of this spiritual journey, this idea of Christian perfection. In my role as a chaplain, I see my role, even though I am a Christian minister, is to encourage somebody as a Hindu to find out more about their faith and continue to be a Hindu, and the same with every faith. But I do have people come to me with that question saying, I'm quite interested in spirituality or faith, which one do I choose? And the answer has to be, well, there's a process of conversations by which that person might discover where their home in terms of faith and spirituality is. I went to a Church of England school. I have many Muslim friends, many women Muslim friends, and sometimes I find their sense of commitment to their faith is very attractive. And I sometimes wonder, if I was given the opportunity to choose, is that the route I might choose? But I think I find I'm at home where I am. I rejoice that there are faiths, many other faiths, and there are spiritualities and beliefs, and there are people of no faith, and that there is something that can come out of each of those. So I don't need to change. I can be me and stay where I am. But I can celebrate the difference and the diversity, the richness and the tapestry that a pluralist country brings, I think. So yes, that's my kind of story.